Hello and welcome back to FloTrack's The Meetup presented by Wonderful Pistachios, episode 6. I'm your host, Demitra Carter, and joined with me today we have Johnny Pace. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Great to be back in the studio, Demitra, after a fun week in Jamaica and gearing up for a big trip to Boston and then China. So glad we could stop in for a bit, though.
I love it. I love it. Welcome back, Nia. How are you doing today?
I'm so happy to be back. Just like Johnny, fresh off of a trip to Jamaica, so ready to talk about it.
I love it. And then I have a special guest joining us today, someone who I've known for a few years now. If you don't know who this coach is, you know the athletes that he's coached. He coached Masai Russell when she was in high school, and she's now an Olympic gold medalist. He coached Quincy Wilson, who is currently an Olympic gold medalist as well. And you've seen Bullis School all throughout the record books. Welcome to the Meetup, Coach Joe.
Thanks for having me. I just like to say, first off, I don't appreciate Johnny and Nia's flex there about we just come back from Jamaica.
Oh, you know.
I don't appreciate that, but I'm happy to be here regardless.
Jamaica was fun. We had a good time. Yeah. If you watched the
fun.
last episode, you hear about the good time. I love it. So I'm so happy you're here joining us today. I mean, you've coached so many great, amazing athletes, and you have them when they're in high school too. So talk to me about what it's like to coach at a school like that and kind of have that record behind you that you're a really good coach and the times show it.
I mean, I just love connecting with people, young people in particular, and we have a lot of fun. I mean, coaching should be fun, competitively for the athletes. As well as the students. But at the end of the day, it's a sport. So there are things you should learn about life, but you got to enjoy what you're doing. So for me, I love the fact that I'm around some, first of all, great character people. Our kids are amazing. They're real smart in the classroom, and they're just funny. And they're constantly giving me a hard time, joking about whether it be my fit or whether it be, just something that we're having fun with. But I just believe that life is better when you're doing life with people that you are enjoy being around, and you can involve all the things athletically, of course. But I just have a great time with our kids and the rest of our coaching staff. We're a big family.
It's so apparent whenever we see you that like the connection you have with your athletes goes beyond, just performances. Like how important is that to you and your approach?
Yeah, I think that's really important because we live in a world where everything is in front of us constantly, and it's results driven, right? And I'm all for results too, because if it's a competitive experience, we're trying to compete and we're trying to get our times better and trying to make the podium or whatever. But I just believe that athletes are people first, and sometimes we forget that, especially at the high school level, but also even at the collegiate and the pro level. Like these are people, so. Instead of spending as much time trying to fix the X's and O's, a lot of the time you're dealing with some things internally as an athlete that you will not show up on a stat sheet. So let's talk about that. Let's work through those things because if you can connect to me as a human being, then the results more than likely will continue to improve and they'll take care of themselves. That doesn't mean we don't work hard and we don't put a strategy together or a race plan and an annual plan, all that kind of stuff. But I just look forward to giving more opportunities to letting athletes know that, hey, we're going to work through the human element, but we're also going to work through the athletic side of it. And if I have to choose, I'm always going to choose you first. So that resonates with people, not just athletes. It resonates with coworkers. It resonates with family. It resonates with the person that you meet up at, the store. So I really am on this this pathway of introducing people to the story behind what you see, and sometimes it's something that everybody will be familiar with. But I have 8-year-old kids that I privately coach, and I'm like their stories are just as important. So that's my thing. Let's get into a space where people really know that it's not about what I do, but it's about who I am. And when you do that, I think the results, they happen automatically.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you a quick question just kind of as a coach outside of track and field, outside of Bullis. You mentioned the human element of coaching, and I want to expand on that a little bit. There seems to be a bit of a gap between the athletes and the fans. So how does you as a coach, how do you hope to bridge that?
Well, I think one of the things we have to do is, we just need to kind of calm down a little bit sometimes because sometimes, like for example, like at Florida Relays, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what happened here?" And look, like calm down, people, relax. Um, Bridging the gap for me is really about understanding. So when we're talking, like right, if you and I are talking, Nia, like you're not just a professional in the sport. That's one thing that you do and you do really well. But you are someone's daughter. You're more like a sister. You're a friend. There are other roles that you have in your life that really make up in totality of who you are. If I don't take time to get to know those other roles or those other things, then I'm just going to look at you as one dimensional. And
Hmm.
then I'm going to speak to you one dimensionally. Now, of course, in social media and the internet world, that it's impossible to do that. But don't forget that there are other elements to who these people are, especially in my side, where they're students and they're working through so many different things that don't have anything to do with track and field. So what I try to do is to get to know all of those things, and then when I'm bringing those things to the conversation, I can't forget that just because someone may be elite in one area, they may be struggling in another area, and I have to be aware of that if I'm going to effectively do my job.
Do you ever have to remind your athletes of that on like a bad day?
We, yeah, I mean, all the time. So we, in our last meet, we had a conversation. I said, listen, I said, how many of you all are not feeling at your best, right? And everyone, I said, I raised my hand too because I was going through some, my back was killing me, and some other stuff that was happening. And I said, okay, that's life is about not just doing it when I feel like it, but facing my fears and kind of moving my feelings away from um, my goals and my objectives. So I have to remind them that look, it's okay not to be okay, but life presents itself in such a way where if you can continue on, let's go. But if you can't, that's all right. But just make sure you're pausing for the right reasons. So, for example, if I'm having a bad day, let's just say I got a bad grade on my test if I'm a student. Well, that doesn't mean we don't practice. Now, if it's a situation where a family member passes away, it's something I'm going through right now, and it's a whole thing is one of the reasons why I shared it on social media is because I want people to know like look, it's okay to hurt, but part of the process is not forgetting that there's more things that can help me on this journey that if I have access to them, I'll be all right. So reminding them of that you're a human and that you've got to make sure that you're not um, uh, putting yourself in that one dimensional category. And because if I do, watch this, if I just say, hey, I'm an athlete and I didn't run my best time, then I'm going to feel like I have failed as an individual. But you haven't. You're on a journey, and that's not everything that makes up the person that you are. It's just a part of your journey. Does that make sense?
That makes 100% sense. I think oftentimes, even just as being humans, athletes, and coaches, there's a lot besides what everybody sees, your outside performance. And I really appreciate you and commend you and thank you for sharing the video that you did share. I know we all watched it. I believe we were in Kingston when you posted it. So thank you for that. But when you shared it, it kind of went viral in the track community. So what did that mean to you to have people kind of see you, appreciate you, and respect your experience and still be able to show up for these kids that you coach that are also now your family?
Well, I think one of the things that did it, at first it surprised me. I didn't think it was going to go viral. And, Erica, who put the video out there, and she's amazing at that. You all know Erica.
Love Erica.
I actually didn't. Yeah, everyone loves Erica. She's Erica. Just like she'll just go places and people just like are just give her free stuff and do things. I'm like, wait a minute, how did you? I don't even have my credential. How are you in? She's like, but no, she's awesome. But so we talked about it, and because she really wanted to tell my story, and I don't have a problem telling my story. But I was like, well, I didn't want it to be about me, right?
Mm.
This is the meet. We're here for these kids. But she said no, like um, this is something that everybody needs to hear beyond track and field. So, for those who maybe not have seen it, my father died, and 2 weeks ago, And I came to the track meet not to show my toughness, but really to show my vulnerability to my kids so they can understand that this is something that is impacting you, but it can't stop your life. Now you do need time to process and to grieve, and but grieving is different for everybody. Some people can get over things quickly. Other people it takes a lifetime. You know, but what I think it did in the track community is it showed the human element of what we're trying to do, and that's the point. Like everybody is a human being first. Let's connect to each other's as human beings so that when the tough times come or when the disappointments happen, we're not so hard on them. Like I never will forget how hard people were on Quincy at the Olympics, and you have no idea what he went through and to even get there. And you also have no idea what was happening during the time. All you see is, oh, he didn't run his best, and then it was just fire, 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 fire. So me sharing that video was it had an effect that I didn't realize it was going to have. But people are reaching out to me, even up to this day, saying, "Coach, that changed how I see things, and I'm so glad you opened that space up because it's given us an opportunity to really show what's really important, which is people, family, connecting beyond our sport."
Coach, obviously, that video touched a lot of people. I remember watching it and I was crying. How are you doing right now?
Um, I am day by day. I had someone text me earlier. I said I'm moment by moment. Um, I think when you experience loss and grief, and everybody is different because everybody has a different relationship with different people, family members, friends, etc. Um, I am I'm in a space where I'm really trying to give away the things that I need,
Mm.
if that makes sense. So, because I could, and I was talking to Coach DJ, our hurdle coach. He's one of my best friends. I was saying, hey, just last night, I said, well, maybe I should have just taken off these past couple weeks because we've had some really huge challenges along with all the good things that have happened. Um, and I said, maybe I just made the wrong decision. He said, no, like you're doing what you do, you're being who you are, and that makes it worthwhile for me because I don't ever want to look back and say somebody needed me, but I wasn't there because I was only focused on myself. Now, with that being said, you do have to focus on yourself, and I'm in a space right now where I'm grieving the loss of my dad, and we haven't even buried him yet, so that's a whole nother thing. But Penn Relays is next week, right? So and I again, I love Penn Relays. I love the competitive side of it. I love it. And I'm not saying Penn Relays is more important than grieving, but I'm just saying I'm learning how to take time for what's important in the moment. Like be in the moment. Like if you're having a bad moment or a bad time in your day, just pause and put things on hold. It'll be there when you get back. So I'm learning how to do that. I wish I could tell you that I have it done perfectly, but I'm learning on this journey just like everybody else is.
I love that.
But thank you
Thank
for
you.
asking. I appreciate you asking.
That too.
And coach, you mentioned Penn Relays, and given everything that's going
Yeah,
on.
ask me some fun questions now. So before I get everybody all fine,
We
you
are
guys.
Yeah,
close to choking up.
the emotional FloTrack.
Right?
But coach, there's a lot of excitement nonetheless, and I think even in Jamaica, everybody knows Bullis. Everybody has a lot of respect and admiration for your program. And can you just talk about as we get going into outdoor, what you're looking forward to, where the team's at, what are some big moments, and how you guys preparing for it?
Yeah, Penn Relays is a big deal on the high school level, especially. But it's a big deal, and yeah, the Jamaican fans, it's fun. So like before Bullis, our team, had the success that we're having, I would watch in the stands, and I'd be a big fan of track and field as I still am, and I would cheer. This is back when they had the USA versus the world. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I would go in the middle of all of the Jamaican, like the sea of Jamaicans, and I'd
Oh
be
my
the
gosh.
lone USA representative, and I'd be like, "Boo, boo at them jokers," and they would like, and then they would start cheering. They'd say, Jamaica. I say USA, and then like, it was just this whole thing. And then it was fun though. It wasn't like anything, nasty or disrespectful. It was just good, clean fun. That's what I love about our sport. Like we can have competitive rivalries or just competitions against each other, but have fun at the end of the day. It doesn't get personal and nasty. No, that kind of stuff. Like, come on, like let's not do that. So from there, as we started to have some success, and then Bullis kind of got on the map on the track and field side. Then the Jamaicans started, just saying things like, "Oh, you're never gonna get us. You're never gonna like you watch." So even that picture back there that I have on my wall, that's at Penn Relays, and we didn't win. We came in second that year, but I was so amped because we came back from like fourth, and we were closing on. I was so excited that this is embarrassing. I spiked my water bottle when I started.
Oh my gosh.
I started talking to the Jamaicans. I was like, "We're close, we're close," and then but we didn't win. So anyway, I still have to say, I love the experience because I know they're going to be at their best, and they know we are too. Now we're at different parts of the season, of course. At the end of their season, we're at the beginning of ours, but it doesn't matter. Like no excuses. Like we all know this day is coming, right? So in terms of what you said about preparation, so we've got to prepare. It's a delicate balance where we've got to prepare for what I call personally like the international championship of the world, of track and field. But at the same time, we can't, sell a farm to get there, right? Because we still have other things going. Like we still have our conference and our nationals, and then even we have several kids who are going to be competing after that. So it's fun. It's it's exciting. It is, and I think this year it's going to be. I think it's going to be one for the ages because you're having some of the best teams ever on the Jamaican side in the 4x4s and 4x1s, and then some of the best teams ever on the American sides in the 4x4s and 4x1s. So it'll be box office for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
I love it. I do have to ask. Okay, so we were just in Kingston. It was my first time there. They have the horns. So if you were in the middle of Jamaica, like, did they all have horns? Was it loud? What was that like?
Let me tell you, these jokers had horns. They had like drums. They had everything, and I didn't care. I was like, and so, but they nicknamed me. They after at the end of the day, they were high five me and said, "All right, see you later, Obama." I was like,
Oh my gosh.
it was hilarious because I mean, unapologetically like, and not just I wasn't cheering for my team, but I was just cheering for all the USA. It's fun because they and I was joking with Fitzroy the other day, like it's like this whole island against us. I'm like, why are y'all why y'all coming everybody against one school? But they understand that we're gonna be ready. We're gonna come prepared, and it's gonna be exciting. So I the Jamaican fans, let me tell you, like, and you've been there, so you've seen it. Catch champs. If you haven't been to champs, I haven't been, but I watch it all the time. Like it is track and field at its finest.
Yeah.
Like they are going crazy. We don't have anything. I guess Penn Relays would be the closest thing to it. But let me tell you, these fans are fanatics. Like they are radical for their squads, and I'm just like, okay, I want all that energy because we're going to bring it on our side too. I'm just asking the American fans, please show up because they make it seem like it's an away meet. All right. So I'm like, and we in Philly, but no, it's fun. And I love the fact that they come out in droves. So it's going to be a fun experience. I'm looking forward to it. And, hopefully we'll have some more fun stories to talk about afterwards.
I'm excited for it. We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Have a ball.
Yeah.
I love it.
The whole thing is fun. It's just fun. I mean, the whole atmosphere, the environment. I hope we get good weather.
Me and you both. I hope we get good weather. We need to say a prayer. Rain, warmth, something.
Well, that's one of the fun things about Penn Relays too. You never know what you're going to get, and you got to be ready for anything. So we had Florida Relays. I will say this: we were not as ready for the weather. That's on me. Like it was hot in Florida Relays. Like it was like summertime. Like hot. It was over 90 degrees, and so after a while, the weather just took us out. I mean, we went from Colin Abrams running 149 one day, then he split 153. I'm like, dude, what's going on? He's like, Coach, I'm tired. Like, have you been drinking water? He's like, yeah, it's still hot. So, Yeah, so hopefully the weather will be good, and we'll get a good show. But one of the things I appreciate about the Jamaicans is they show up regardless, and it doesn't matter whether it's raining, whether it's 50 degrees, 40 degrees, they show up regardless, and I admire that about them.
I love that.
It's the last good thing I'll say about the island of Jamaica.
I love it. Before we play this video, I do have to ask, you touched on Florida Relays. You've had quite the past couple of weeks between Florida Relays and then the All-American Track Classic. Talk to me about those 2 weeks, and then, of course, leading into Penn. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so we go to Florida Relays every year because it's a good startup for us. It's a good, catapult from indoor nationals. We want to go to Florida, and it's always a good time. Like I said, the weather was a bit much for us, and I'm not making excuses. You guys know me; I'm not an excuse maker. It is what it is. Everybody's going to run in it, but we had a hard travel, where our flight got delayed probably 6 or 7 hours. We literally didn't get to the hotel till like 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And it was crazy. And then we were trying to recover off that, and then the heat just comes, bam. And we train in like 40, 50 degree weather up here. It's not like we're not. I would love to be in Austin with you guys and just enjoy that weather. And even though Austin obviously sometimes is not, 80, 90 degrees, but it just our athletes just were, by the end of it, we were just drained. So, but still, I mean, they had a great showing. I mean, Sydney Sutton ran 22.7 in the 200. She set the Maryland State record, and that was awesome. And we had like 5 or 6 wins. Everybody seemed to focus in on the 4x4, which is fine. I mean, it's sport. That doesn't bother us at all. But as a matter of fact, let me say the one thing to my Jamaican friends. Yes, I need you to believe everything the internet is saying. We've lost it all. Quincy's, he doesn't have anything else in the tank. He doesn't have it, guys. You guys are right. All right, just believe that. But no, I get it. But I mean, and what it does for us is it's we don't believe in leveling down. Right. So meaning like we want to go to the best competitive experiences that we can. And if it's not as competitive, we want to make it that way. We want to raise the level up. We want to be, thermostats, not thermometers, as the saying goes. So going to Florida Relays and then going to right back to the All-American Track Classic, there were over 200 teams there. Like, that's crazy. So we wanted to see where we could stand, not just individually, but also from a team standpoint, because our goal was to win the meet on the boys and the girls side. And even though we weren't fully loaded on either side, because we had a couple of people who were making sure they're healthy and they're ready, and we wanted to do things progressively. The boys and the girls, they won the meet, and they had some fantastic experiences. And going back again to Sydney Sutton, she broke Anna Cockrell's record in the 400 hurdles, which I thought was amazing. Because I think Anna's an amazing person, and I remember talking to her when she set the record back in 2016 or 17, and to see Sydney break it, it was pretty dope. So we use all that, I say, to build towards what we're doing at the end of April, which is Penn Relays, and we feel like we're going to be ready.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about Penn Relays and those matchups, but I think there's another matchup that we got to touch on a bit. I think we have a video from
Coach, we love receipts.
Yeah, we got receipts.
Love receipts.
Why don't we play that?
Why do I all of a sudden feel like I'm being set up here?
My last question, and a fun one. I want to revisit another conversation we had at USA, is that you can beat Quincy. After this weekend, how are we looking with that? And when is the race? We would love to be able to live on FloTrack.
I mean, you saw what he did, right? I mean, he split 45, and he ran 45. He's got to do more to get that done against me. He's got to do more. That's 45. That's it. That's all we got. He's got some work to do. But listen, if he works hard, just like anybody in life, he can get it done, except against me. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Put that on record. Put that on record. Quincy Wilson, come see me, son. Come see me.
It's on record.
Yeah, Coach. So what's up?
Well, you need to ask him that. I put it out there. If you notice, he hasn't responded. No response.
He's dug in.
Okay.
I didn't want to say that, but Johnny, since you said it, I'll just say I haven't seen a response yet on that. So, it's one of those things, a little awkward, because when he gets on the track with me, sometimes if I step on the track, then he's like, "Are you not gonna race me?" I'm like, "No, I'm here. I'm just here to time you." So maybe we'll see it. But until then, um, I believe in my mind the results are already stamped, and I'm gonna go with that thought, and those results are going to stay with me because I'm never gonna race. I don't listen. Crazy? No. But no, we have fun. That's my guy. I love him.
I love it. Well, I'm going to end us with this final question for you. If you could build an ultimate dream 4x4 relay, any era, who's on your relay?
Ooh.
Are you talking like just from the high school, college, all the way to pros, or just we staying in
Anybody.
one particular?
It's
Four
a
by
tough
four. Okay,
one.
we're talking men and women or both.
Well, let's make it a mixed relay.
All right, mix.
So
Oh,
2 women,
okay.
2 men.
All right. All right. So 2 women, 2 men. I'm gonna go with on the women's side. You're making this tough. Wow.
How can I make
I'm
it
gonna go.
easy?
I'm gonna go with Sid. No, I'm gonna go with Sid.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Sid McLaughlin. I'm going to go with. Let me give you on the male side. I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson.
Solid
Shout out,
choice.
he did a great job with that. On my second woman on that squad, I'm gonna go with. I want to say FloJo.
Okay. I like
I want to
it.
say FloJo, and on the men's side, call me a homer. I'm gonna have to go with Quincy Wilson.
Okay.
As you should. Yep.
Love it.
I'm gonna have to go with him.
It's breaking a
So, yeah.
record easily.
Yeah, I think that record would definitely go down. I think it would go down.
Awesome. Well, that is all I have. I'll let you plug yourself, your final words before you go. Tell us where to find you on socials, all the things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Coach Joe Lee. That's my on IG, Coach Joe Lee. And again, we're just trying to share content about what's going on, what's happening. It's the reality is the human experience is something that I enjoy because I think life is done better when you do it together. So, I do. I love coaching my high school team. I also coach 8-year-olds and private train kids who are getting ready for lacrosse tournaments. And I also coach pros now too. I got a couple of pros who are working with me. That's a fun experience because I'm watching where I can have like an 8-year-old like little Armani, who's one of my she's hilarious, one of my kids who I coach. Because everything is fun for them, and that's what I'm talking about. Like it should never not be that way,
Yeah.
right? It should never not be fun. So like she's just having a blast, when some of the kids who I coach on the pro side, I'm saying, how do I make sure that they're having the same experience but at their level? So So anyway, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm enjoying it, but obviously having a lot of time with my track fam at Bullis, and I'm looking forward to what this season is going to bring. So yeah, you can find me there, and a whole lot of good content and fun stuff to go along with it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the meetup. I'm so happy that you were here today. We will also, you'll be in China. Me and Nia will see you at Penn Relays, though. Johnny's Mr. Worldwide.
I'll be with you in spirit.
Please stop. This is making me feel like I went to South Carolina and he's going to China. Great.
I know Johnny got us beat. I need to start catching your flights. Yeah.
Got stamps in that passport.
Yes.
Absolutely. No, it's fun, guys. Thanks so much for having me, and look forward to seeing you all hopefully at Penn Relays.
Yes, we will see you at Penn Relays. Thanks, Coach.
See you soon, Coach.
All right, y'all. Take care.
What a guy.
I know. I'm so happy that he was able to join us today. I want to dive right into, though, some other things that happened in the track world. We saw some world and American records go down. We'll start with men's discus. The world record, they were throwing in Oklahoma. Nicholas Elekna discus, 75.56. He's been like inching towards this, I guess not inching, metering. I don't know what you would call it if it's in meters, but getting closer towards this record. We have the asset of like the graphic that we made for Instagram, and he broke it. And then Valerie Allman went right after him, and the American record went 73.52, which is insane. Now, I don't know if y'all saw. I keep track because Trip throws.
Yes.
The wins were crazy.
Yes.
So I would love y'all's thoughts on the record's a record. I respect that they got it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people were saying that if they track wins in sprints, they should track wins in throws. What are your thoughts?
But with the weight of with discus,
Mm-hmm.
how much of a role, like scientifically speaking, how much of a role does the wind play? I mean, I guess maybe in whether it goes left or right, but does it really propel it forward or?
I don't.
It's got to give it some lift. None of us are physicists.
Yeah, and I'm not a thrower.
What do we know? But you got to imagine a disc, it's like a frisbee. It's like
Yes.
a heavy frisbee. And so I would of course, I'm surprised wind isn't tracked.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask is Oklahoma, what about it? Is it?
Every year that meet in Oklahoma is always windy.
Yeah.
Like every year. Like if you want a PB in discus, they say go there. And like I said, breaking a record is still impressive. So I respect the record, but does wind help? Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also do argue, again, with the weight of the discus and the power which is thrown through, does it cut through the wind?
I mean, it's kind of like a human. How if humans are cutting through the wind and if I can't have more than 2 meters behind me,
Okay.
and I'm 119 pounds, baby, a discus is lighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
my
either,
guess.
I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
it's either the wind or something in the corn that's making them throw well out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with wind.
Okay. What are you going with, wind?
I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt, but yeah.
You can stay. I'll let you stick with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But congratulations.
Congratulations on the
Well,
records, though. It's that's impressive, and they're like that for real too in discus.
Oh, for sure.
All right, I want to get into this Botswana track and field event that happened.
Girl.
Okay, so we have the image. We'll just start with the image. This Botswana had a meet last weekend. This is what the track looked like the day before.
And for those who can't see, this is a track being poured live. What are they doing?
The track is wet.
It.
The tarp is
I gotta
out.
be honest, I don't love it.
This reminds me of doing a book report or something the night before.
They're
pouring the track.
they need the pressure of the meet happening to actually we need to stop procrastinating.
I have thoughts. I do. At first I'm like, haha, this is so funny. Ha. But then on the other end, the smile goes away because, we talk about wanting to grow the sport, but we have to have a level of seriousness on our end as well. There is no way you're having and hosting a professional track and field meet with the likes of Tobogo and Dalilah Muhammad, and the track is just unprepared because you're never going to see an NBA game where the 3-point line isn't properly set up. You're never going to see an NFL game where it's not 10 yards in between each line where you're trying to get the first down. We're not going to be first down-ish, So it feels like when I'm watching this track meet, it was okay, Tobogo ran 200 meters-ish, or, and that level of seriousness has to start with us if we want the fans to then follow through.
Yeah, I am a little confused because they had a track.
Yeah.
And you decided to renovate it last minute? What happened? At that point, it's what are we really doing? And then,
I mean, there's no debate. That's got to be a record for freshest track ever. There's no question, it's too worn down. It's probably as new as one could possibly hope.
Yeah, fresh.
I mean, they could have poured it that morning and maybe get a little closer. The night before, though, I mean, now what I did see, though, the lines maybe.
Yeah, we have some images of the lines. Ryan Fenton came up to me. He was like, Demitra, what do you see wrong with this image? That's the finish line. It's a little wonky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had hours to spare here, so it's they couldn't really go at it with a ruler.
That's insane. We have another image of the track being wonky too. The curve, y'all.
No, I think if it looks like I freehanded that.
No, for real.
It's.
They were like, Nick, can y'all get out there and just draw some lines?
And I was like, yo, I got you. I'll do it for you right now.
Yeah, I don't think if there was a record, it wouldn't have counted. This is insane. So yeah, Botswana.
It was pretty at least.
It might be on their shoes still, based off of when they poured it. Yeah.
I hope there is a reason for this. Yeah. I hope there is something that really something that just please make it make sense. There has to be a legitimate why to give it some sort of okay, I get it. Because I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm shook.
I don't get it.
And I don't know why anybody's not talking about it.
We need to be talking
as much. I'm this should have been headline.
Yeah, it should be out there because I would love to see what Twitter would have to say.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, we're about to get into this deep dive. We're going to do another deep dive again next week because Penn Relays is next week. But I do want to talk about Penn Relays. And more importantly, We talked to Coach Joe and Bullis, Heidel, USA Jamaica, like it's a whole thing at Penn Relays. But y'all had the opportunity after we were at Grand Slam. I came back and y'all stayed to go to these high schools. So talk to me about that experience. What was it like? Yeah.
Nia, I mean, I think you made this possible. I think
thank
should
you.
lay the foundation and set the scene for us.
Yes, no, I will. They even blew out my expectations, the coaches, the athletes, the entire system that they have going on over there. What's nice is what you'll see in this feature is that you'll see the nuances between each school. I think us as Americans, we're so quick to just group them as, oh yeah, the Jamaicans. But if they have an identity outside of just the Jamaicans, like Heidel was so different from St. Jago, and St. Jago was so different from Edwin Allen, and it can just go on and on and on and on. And you'll see, like, with Coach Bennett and Heidel, like, there's this level of seriousness, and he made it 100% clear that he runs a very tight ship. With St. Jago, there's like this big sense of just family-like camaraderie between the athletes and the coaches, and you'll definitely see that within the feature. So it's something that's really beautiful to see. And of course, they have acknowledged Bullis, Union Catholic, and really shown their admiration and respect for both of those programs because they're all able to produce such amazing athletes. So I enjoyed my time there. I learned a lot there, and we're so excited for you guys to see everything.
Yeah.
I love it. What was it like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many thoughts. That's all I've been talking about all week. Again, big ups to Nia because she had to, I mean, she made these connections with these coaches. I was just struck. I mean, and then after talking with Coach Joe, many paths to the same destination, this destination being Penn Relays, that like the situations and circumstances that these schools face, I don't think anybody's really documented it or seen it, and it's incredible. And then the spectrum of it. We drove like 2 hours up into the mountains. We were like dead center in the island, and like this little mountain school.
Clarendon.
Yeah, like, and then they come and you watch the Penn Relays highlights, and like they're the ones that are up there in the front, winning these things or contending for it. That one school specifically ran on grass. Like I'd never seen that before. A school like practicing on grass, and then it gave me so much appreciation for like when they show up here to Penn and just being able to see that backstory. So I'm so stoked to like share those stories, in the next week and a half.
And then I know you took some photos and things. I mean, obviously you're a photographer,
That's what
but
I do.
let's walk us through this photo up here.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was just talking about. So this was, dead center in the island out here on the grass track. Nia, what was the school again?
Edwin Allen.
Edwin Allen. I mean, these are some of the best. And I have another visual to show in a second, but, yeah, they were out here getting after it on the grass. Some of the nicest kids, and like we're gonna be seeing these faces here in a week in Philadelphia. But why don't we pull up the next image?
Really quick, what's that thing behind him? What's the red thing?
I think it's a water tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were drinking water out of it.
It was actually a water tank.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
seriously. And they're up there in the mountains. So let's pull up the next image though, because they have this hall right above the track. Those are Penn relay wheels, and for those who can't see, there's like probably, between all of them.
Oh, there was more in the back, but Alex couldn't like get all of it in one image. That's how many they have.
Exactly. I've never seen anything like this. Like Penn relay wheels after Penn relay wheels. Like after over 30 years, like they just have racked these things up, and then to see like where it happens, where the magic happens, is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like reminiscent. You guys know that Meek Mill song, "I'm a Boss." They're literally kind of case in point. Scared money don't make no money.
Yeah.
And their lack of resources don't stop them from running and producing certain times. It's a 300-meter grass track that they've created with about 6 lanes. And the only time they're really on an actual track is when they're competing.
This makes sense to me now. All right, so at Baylor, fall, we would train in the grass. But the grass, once you get on the track, it's so much easier and you feel faster because you don't get as much pushback from grass as you do a track.
Interesting.
They got a key to something.
They do.
Yeah.
They
Grass
do.
tracks might be in.
Yeah. Don't tell too many people. We might.
Okay.
Yeah. That's really cool though. Yeah. I'm glad y'all had that experience. Now going into Penn Relays, what are y'all excited to see? Because now you've seen what it's like for them to train. We've seen what it's like for people back in the States to train. What are y'all kind of looking forward to? Any relays, any athletes, any schools?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. this one athlete in particular, Abigail at Heidel, she actually won the 400 at Grand Slam Track. So I guess for those of you who don't know, Grand Slam Track, they collaborated with Champs, which Coach Joe was talking about, and took the top girls and boys who competed and did an exhibition at Grand Slam Track on day 2. And Abigail from Heidel is one of those athletes that she's just phenomenal. But I think someone that we definitely, or a school we should have our eyes on, is Edwin Allen. They have a chip on their shoulder because they're trying to get back their Championship of America 4x4. And they also the girls came second at Champs for like some relay fumbles here and there. You know how that goes. So I think they kind of have a double chip on their shoulder. I think Edwin Allen's going to produce.
Okay.
I'm having a really tough time knowing who to root for because, you know, I love Bullis. I'm rooting for them. But now after being here on the ground, meeting the Jamaican schools, you know, I feel a connection with them too. So hopefully all we can hope is that it's going to be some, you know, great races, and whatever team is best on the day is going to take it. But yeah, I'm struggling to know who I'm rooting for.
That's a good point on the boys' side, because I've never seen Quincy run better.
Yeah.
And then after the 4x4 where they dropped the baton last year, who knows how they're going to come back, because they're a better team than they were last year, which is crazy.
I'm so excited. I'm about to take a little break from Flo. I might get my popcorn and watch the race because it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. I might have to go get a horn or something and switch between.
Give me a horn too.
I'm going to get you a horn. And we can like go between the Jamaican side and the American side and just, you know.
What are they going to call us? If they called him Obama, are we Michelle? Like, what's the, like, I don't know. Let me practice. I need to get a horn. I told T I was going to get a horn. I didn't get a horn in Jamaica.
Part of the experience.
Maybe can you hit up one of the Jamaica coaches and see if they can bring me a horn? All right.
Absolutely. I'll tell them to bring one for all of us.
Just don't have too much fun without me. I'm gonna be missing you guys when I'm.
Bring a horn to China.
Yeah, maybe I got. That's a great idea, actually. I'm gonna pull up this Yaman with my.
I'm like, who is this photographer? That is so funny. Speaking of you going to China, you have a stop before that. You're going to Boston for the marathon.
Yeah,
and you're running in it.
And then flying straight to China. This might top the crazy trips. It's gonna be a big. I'm basically not coming back till like May 4th. A lot of good stuff to look forward to though. Yeah, so going Thursday. Boston Marathon is way more than just the race on Monday. It's like a whole experience.
Yeah.
Starts gearing up on like Thursday. All sorts of activations, and everybody's in town from all over the world. Like, it's so much fun. I almost enjoy it more than the race in some ways. And then the race itself, I think my plan is to cover the start of the pro field, hand my camera off to a friend, and then go get ready to race. So we'll see if we can do it all.
I love it. My first time going to Boston was last year. I was working with On, and we had Helen O'Beary.
Yeah.
And I was on the social team, and it was my job to like record. And I hate to admit this, but I ran track, but like not marathon at the time. Them girls run fast.
Yeah.
I said, I did not get the shot. That's the spoiler alert. I was like, I didn't think they were going to run that fast.
They ran by
I had to redo it to get the shot, but like go to another like mile marker.
Oh yeah.
They run fast.
No, they don't play.
And I'm like, you're doing that for how long? It's so impressive. And then they have Heartbreak Hill. Like, I have so much respect for it.
Yeah, haven't done it last year. Like, I always thought when people talk about Heartbreak Hill, like they're making it something bigger than it really is. I would say it's more like Heartbreak Hills, because I swear you go up like 4 of them, and so there's like several miles where you're just climbing. And
so you're like, I'm confused. Like, that one felt like heartbreak, but
my
then
heart broke like the last one. Why are we
like, so it's breaking again?
Yeah, that is so funny.
But
Johnny, you have to give us some tips when you're done, because I have not done a marathon. I don't plan to.
I was like, you trying to run a marathon?
I'm not.
we'll work on that.
But oh, good luck, guys. But you have to give us some tips, because I understand that it's physically demanding.
Some might say.
Some may say.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be on a train for like what, 20 hours?
Yeah. Well, I'll take the plane. It's like 24 hours.
So like, you bring in Normatec boots on the flight?
Exactly.
Okay.
Look into that.
No, actually, what's your plan?
Because I'm hurting for you.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, trying to sit still, on a 13-hour leg.
You need to get an upgrade.
I probably need to look into that. But we got to do it. There's so much to look forward to.
That's right. Scared money don't make no
Scared
money.
money don't make no money. Exactly.
Aren't you running Boston for fun? Don't you like running marathons?
I would say so, yeah. I mean,
Which is also crazy.
When you get invited to do the Boston Marathon, You don't say no to that.
Oh, I think we would say.
Tip.
I would say no.
I would say no. Maybe like a half. You could.
You know how hard people have to work to.
Yes, I'm aware. The time is insane to get in.
Yeah.
I'll report on it. Yeah.
We got to get you guys out there next year. I swear, it's like the trials or something. It's like all the festivities and connection that happens just around that weekend. It's pretty magic, and especially in Boston, there's something about Marathon Monday. It's like a holiday there.
Yeah. No, I love it.
The city shows up, and for 26 miles too, there's all these like towns. You basically run out from 26 miles out of town and run in. And each of these towns has like a different character, and like when I tell you, it's lined with people for that whole stretch. It's like pretty special.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah.
Like the New York City Marathon. Like I never ran that, but I was watching from like the Brooklyn leg one time, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
Everyone's here.
Marathons make me so emotional because I'm like this whole city shows up and they cheer for strangers. Like you're one person, but you're cheering for everybody, and it's like a really good thing to see.
Yeah, everybody's got their own story for like how they got there.
Yeah.
And, why you do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, all jokes aside, you're pushing your body to lengths that you probably once upon a time never thought you could before. So it's so hard not to be happy for them or even cry for them. You guys know I'm a crier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, you would cry. I was at marathon trials and I was like, oh my God. That was my first time watching a marathon. You would cry.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I would.
Drama.
I cried during High School Musical. The third one, though.
I love it. All right. That's really all I have, but I'm going to have y'all hit this one heavy hitter question that I also asked Coach Joe. So prepare your answers before we wrap this puppy up. Okay. 4x4, if you could choose any 4x4, any era, mixed relay, so 2 women, 2 men, who are you choosing? And, I'll start us off to give y'all some time to think. All right. I might have to take Coach Joe's first one. I'm picking Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni.
Okay.
I'm picking Allison Felix because I love her down. Men-wise, I'm picking Michael Johnson because he's a Baylor Bear and sick 'em forever. And for my last man, who has the men 400 hurdle record?
Carson Warholm. Oh, I like that.
I like his attitude.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun to watch.
I think I would pick him. Yeah, that's my final one. Carson Warholm. That's my 4th pick. I might change it next week, but that's my 4th pick for now.
Oh yeah, please ask again next week because I'm gonna actually do research.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm taking Michael Johnson. I'm gonna take Sonia Richards-Ross, our American record holder. I'm going to also take. This is gonna be a hot take, but I think his speed can take him through, and he once upon a time was a 400-meter runner. I'm gonna take Usain Bolt.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Fred Curley.
No.
Why did I think Fred too?
No. Although he's a dog, don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna actually take Usain Bolt. I know. What's that? I had 2 men, 1 woman.
Can I just interject real quick? In Jamaica, I ate at Usain Bolt. He's got his own like restaurant.
Yeah.
What?
He does.
He's like all over the walls. He's got like his like world record clock and the jersey. And yeah, we maxed it out.
Was the food good?
Food was great.
Nice.
We did all courses.
I love it.
We gotta run Kingston back. That's all I'm hearing.
Oh no,
that's all I'm hearing.
I will go. I had a grand time.
We gotta run it
You
back.
got us grand slamming time. Huh?
Yeah, I was like, the food was great.
I'm gonna find a reason for us to go. Don't worry, I'm gonna work on it.
Champs. Go ahead.
No. But let's see. Usain Bolt, Michael Johnson, Sonia Richards-Ross. I'm gonna jump on the Sydney McLaughlin train. Yeah.
Solid.
I have a new favorite on the men's side. I think, MJ and Sydney Givens. But Coach Cameron. He's
Bert
my new
Cameron.
favorite. We did a little history lesson. What's his full name?
Bert Cameron.
Bert Cameron.
He was the first ever 400-meter winner in like the inaugural World Championships.
Yeah, this like on this. So we pulled up to the school and like he's sitting there under the tree. And meanwhile, he's like been to the Olympics multiple times, first world champion. I thought that was the coolest thing.
That's cool.
We went and watched back some of his races.
He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. This year he's getting inducted. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna come to Eugene for NCAA's.
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely got to meet him. He's a boss. So yeah, I'm gonna have him on there. And last woman, wild card. I don't know. Give me.
No, you got it. It could be a distance person for all we. It could be who do you think?
It could be anyone.
Anybody.
No, we'll do Felix. I like Felix.
Okay, that's a good choice.
How could you not like her? I want to come out of retirement. She'll probably say no.
Shelly Ann is making a comeback.
Yeah, I heard this is her final year.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see her race, though.
Put her on your 4x4.
Yeah, I got Shelly Ann.
Nice. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me for episode 6 of The Meetup. We will be here every single Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, y'all.